What a way to start the live, huh? Great big yawn. Welcome, welcome. Coming to you from my house around 10:20, 10:20 p.m., but it feels so much later. I was up very early. All the children started school, all the ones who have to be driven. Um, so basically, I've been nonstop since 6:30, 6:30, nonstop. Got a lot done. A lot of it very low hanging fruit, easy to do things. I fixed a fallen sign at the store. I printed up the hours that were going to be closed, many days that were going to be closed. I talked about this yesterday, the 19th, the 22nd, the 23rd, the 24th, the 1st, the 2nd. Many days. There's a thumbnail up here that has it. It's also on our Facebook and our Instagram. Many days closed. I did some paperwork, I did some ordering, I got a lot of things done, but very slowly because I was tired all day. And you know what? I took it kind of easy. And then I came home after 8 o'clock and washed a lot of dishes and cleaned up a lot of things. So I'm good. I do not feel I don't feel like I took it easy and then I'm been lazy, but I definitely moved at a slower pace today and I'm fine with that. I was able to do so because we didn't have tons and tons of customers. That I'm not so happy about, but it wasn't dead. It wasn't middle of winter, literally two people come in all day. I did have customers. I did make some sales, give people ideas of other books they wanted. Um, and yeah, I got a lot done. We unpacked a large Batman restock, which is going to be my Good Shabbos post tomorrow. Um, I did the first order from Lunar. We have a Lunar account, so I did my image ordering from them for FOC because I wanted to see how it worked anyway. So I went and looked at it, and while I was looking at it, I'm like, you know what? Let's input this order. So I put that in. Earlier this week, I didn't talk about this. I made an order for some boxes and some bags, boards. That's very exciting. We haven't had those in stock for a while, so we're gonna get some supplies, hopefully from Alliance Gaming. I'll also point out that if you do need gaming things, not like hot, rare gaming things, I can't get you Final Fantasy Magic cards. But if you're a regular customer and you need some dice or miniatures or whatever, so if you're local, obviously you should go to the game store across the street. But if you're one of my hold list people, or you're somebody who makes orders with us, please let me know and we can always order that for you. Um, yeah, as I was saying earlier, very tired, very long day, but overall it feels like I accomplished a good amount. Um, the real thing coming up is very funny. I was doing this order for Image, and I was going to order 10 copies of a book to get the 1 in 10 because it was very cool, and I know I have at least one customer who's very interested. And I thought to myself, you know what? I haven't seen that customer in months. I mentioned this thing to him, and he said he wasn't sure if he wanted it, but it looked cool. And no one else has expressed interest in it. Maybe I don't need to get the 1 in 10. And then I looked at the date. And the date is the night of Yom Kippur. That is when that book comes out. And I went, oh, we're not even going to be open the day it comes out. We're gonna be opening that Thursday after that. And it's like I cut my order in half basically. I think I got 6 copies or 5 copies because I just can't. I was thinking for a minute that I should get it for all the people who get GI Joe. I have 3 people who get GI Joe on this book, this GI Joe one shot. So I should get 10 copies. Just seems ridiculous. And I looked at the date. So we are keeping it very tight. I have a lot of people. A couple I spoke to yesterday and today about picking up new issues. Who I was like, you really need to let me know, and they went, yeah. No, I'm not concerned. I don't think that they're going to be happy come the middle of October. I don't think they're going to be very thrilled. I can't say this about every comic shop. Every comic shop is different. We talked about this yesterday. That was a big discussion yesterday. I find it absurd that people are comparing one comic shop to another on a national or an international scale, considering how amazingly different comic shops are. But most comic shops would be happier for you to pre-order things. Now, there are a lot of comic shops And currently this is us as well. We would fit into this category. Where if you walked in off the street and said, I want to make sure I get Deadpool Batman. That's in 2 weeks. I want to make sure I get it. We would say, oh, do you care what cover you get? Is there a specific one you absolutely need? And they go, well, no, not really. I would say, oh, well, just make sure you're here on the 17th. We'll have plenty of copies. Because on the 17th, unless something happens in the next 2 weeks to make this book super important, you know what I mean? Like, unless we're going to have plenty of copies on the 17th, probably the 18th, probably well into the next week since we're closed so many of those days for holidays. But if you went into the same shop and you said, I want to make sure that I get Green Lantern 28, it's part of this whole, and that, at least by me, I'd be like, oh, let me take your name, let me get your information, I'll tell you when it's here, because we're not ordering a lot of shelf copies of that. Now, again, shops are different. If you went into Fourth World, which is the closest comic shop to us, great store, it's where I used to shop. Jeez, I don't think I've been there in like, I don't go anywhere. But right, if you would go into there and say that to them, they'd be like, Green Lantern? Oh, well, can you get here on the day it comes out? And you're like, yeah, I can get here. And they go, you'll be fine. We'll have plenty. But you can go to a store in Rhinebeck that I know that 6 months ago stopped carrying new single issue comic books. They don't get single issue comics, and you'll say, oh, I used to get it here. And they'll go, yeah, we don't do that anymore. I have a friend who has a store who was telling me they're just fed up. It's so complicated to get so many books and do so much of their ordering. They just can't do it. And they're like, and I know I serve my community. And I was like, well, that's not the reason for it. If you're talking about making your fellow nerds happy and giving them things that they can't see or a fun environment to live in, you don't have to have a comic shop to do that. You can help manage a bookstore and make it more accessible to people in your community. You can partner with people who want to make accessible spaces but don't know how to make them, as welcoming as they can. Like, there's a zillion things you can do. You don't have to run a comic book store, which is an incredibly convoluted and complicated job 6 years ago. And in the last 6 have only gotten more. Okay. I'm not really sure what that means. It's just surprising to me. Like, I don't kid myself about what I do. I am not the community active person. I'm not going to lots of shows. I'm not sponsoring parades or organizations or events. We just don't. We don't have we don't have that kind of bandwidth. We're just keeping the shop open. We try to be welcoming and friendly to everyone in every way that we can. We try to foster a good environment within the shop, but it's just a store. We don't host big events. We're not. And I feel like if I wanted to be that person, I don't think I'd own a shop that I was also trying to do retail in. Like, if I wanted to make sure that I was helping, let's say I was trying to make people feel comfortable getting their comic books who wouldn't enjoy being in a specific comic shop, but I don't have that situation. When we opened, there was a comic shop 3 miles away. And we were knowing I got less single issues when they were open. I didn't have to. I would send people to them. I'd say, go there. Get your single issues there. We're getting, we were known for getting the more obscure stuff. It's not my thing. I don't know. I'm not trying to say that we're not accessible. We don't care about how people feel in our store. I'm just saying that's not our main goal. You know what I mean? Our main goal is getting comic books to people that want them and showing people that there's comic books they didn't know about. That's it. We're just trying to show you that there's more comics than you ever knew about, and if you want comic books, we have them for you. I constantly tell people, we can order that for you. Like, I'll have it for you tomorrow, but like, I can't stock everything. Sometimes it's for My Hero Academia Volume 23. Sometimes it's for a Batman Storylines fourth volume from 3 years ago. But we can't have all of it. And since we can't have all of it, I'd rather have a bunch of My Hero Academia over here, a nice little selection of Batman over there, a whole bunch of webtoons over there. I'd much rather have that than a really good selection of all the superhero stuff and not the others. That's just the kind of shop I want to be. But that's really my goal, is to just be that kind of shop. I'm not looking for loftier ambitions. But yeah, that's it. I guess it's not really much of a topic. It's not really saying much of anything. It's all things we've discussed a million times before. But got stuff done today. Just trying to be a shop to sell you some cool comics. Very, very tired. Maybe we'll do a week of review tomorrow, but I imagine I'm going to be just as tired tomorrow, so probably not. And I will get... Ooh, look at these bags. Look at the bags. I'll get back to you Sunday. Until then, remember, damn it, babies, you gotta be kind.